All right. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for another edition of the Bill
Bert
Pod.
Cast. I thought you were going to go the Monday morning podcast.
Oh, I don't know what I was doing. I didn't realize we were going to be starting here. So, how are you? I got to turn on the fucking AC here, man. It's getting a little hot in here. Getting a little hot in here.
We had the AC off in the bus last night. We pulled into San Antonio and parked, and it was fucking sweltering.
Oh, yeah. Texas in June, buddy.
Oh,
Here's something I haven't used in forever. My luggage.
Dude, being on the road is surreal, Bill.
Why? What's okay?
Dude, I did stand-up live in Phoenix. First time back on stage in 95 days.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I got to be honest with you, the social distancing was questionable.
Yeah, dude, it's not cool, man. I don't know what people are doing. They're just this is the thing. I understand because people have to get out of the house, they got to get back to work. Okay, when these fucking bankers fucked everybody over for the 9 millionth time in 2008, they had all kinds of fucking money they could make to pay to do that. Why can't they just print some fucking money again like we always do to solve a problem and get everybody tested?
Yeah.
Sick ones stay home. Everybody else goes to work. The brilliant scientists continue to work on a cure. Like, why can't they do that? You can bank, we're too fucking big to fail. And what? We're not? I don't understand why they won't help regular people.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I think
it probably doesn't help that Captain Stupid is using the virus to show like how his dick still stands up. I don't need a mask. I've never had a fucking cold in my life. It's just fucking bizarre, man.
Dude, I am no contact 100%. I have not. We went floating down the Rio Grande yesterday, but like you go literally mask fucking everywhere, and it's amazing how many people are not wearing masks at all.
No, it isn't. It's not amazing. It's not amazing. The president isn't wearing one. Half the country loves the guy. Yeah. If he's not wearing one, that's their guy.
Yeah. I mean,
I liked Malcolm Young. You know, that was my guy. So I wore jeans and T-shirts. That's what you do. He is their guy. Well, I hope Donnie Boy is right. Old Donnie Brook, you know?
Yeah. It's crazy to go from LA to the middle of the country and see. I mean, LA is so follow the rules. And then you get out of LA and it's just people in bars, people in restaurants. There were people in a Denny's last night. We were driving by a Denny's. And just packed. It was fucking packed. And you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, they've had enough. But I think they probably were playing by the rules. But at some point, people got to make money and people got to go get a Grand Slam breakfast.
Yeah.
All right? So get the fucking test out there. Print a bunch of fucking money. Put a little cocaine in there. Whatever they do. You know, it's a briefcase. Isn't there always a briefcase involved in that? Right? A fucking test out there. Let's just get back to normal. Everybody on the left, oh my God, Trump's the biggest monster ever. Everybody on the right, well, fucking Obama wasn't even born here. And then we're all outside again.
Yeah. I just remain silent and just complicit in my silence.
Yeah, I was, I laid off Trump for a long time because I don't want to be that guy who doesn't know shit telling people what they should be doing. And I'm still not doing that. But, dude, to hold a fucking rally in Tulsa when he did, I mean, come on, man. I mean, I'm not into bullies, dude.
Dude,
I'm not into bullies.
That's what fucks me up is I really have my hair gets up on my back about bullies. Like someone saying, that's why I don't like when people videotape you. It's kind of a bully move. It's like
I don't like the extreme left telling everybody what words they can use. They're a bunch of fucking bullies. I don't like them either. There's a lot of people I don't like, Bert. Oh, let me tell you.
Here's what I think is hilarious. I won't say any names, but I've been following online and all these call-out things. What is hilarious is once you call someone out and do this, the internet shifts its focus to you and goes, all right, let's see where that motherfucker slipped up. And then they start, hey, what about this when you did this? And then they start tearing that person down. It's like,
you know what I like? I like how all of these people get retroactively offended by something that came out when they were like 35.
Yeah.
Now they're 42. Like, oh my God, what kind of world was this? The world you were living in when you were 35. You've had 7 years to be offended by this, and now all of a sudden, everything's shifted, and now all of a sudden you're going to get all offended. Fuck out of here. What we got here? A little wiffle ball?
Oh,
No.
These kids are taking their shirts off in front of my bus taking pictures. It's a dad with his 3 kids. I think they're out for Father's Day.
I think they're out there for you, Bert. That's probably his Father's Day gift. You connect with the people, Bert.
Dude, I had the coolest experience yesterday. We get done floating the Rio Grande, and these fans came out and were tailgating by my bus. But they were – here's what you got to say. Everyone has been super cool about me saying, hey, man, I got to keep distance from you. I can't be around you. So they tailgated, and there was like a barrier, and they were hanging out. We were having beers with this barrier in between us, just catching up. And they're like, I was in a Speedo. It was the greatest experience. I've not met one person who's been kind of dickish about social distancing. Everyone gets it. Everyone understands it. And it's been really cool, man. I love getting back on stage.
So people on your tour are doing a good job. The Denny's not so much, but the tour.
Yeah,
that's on Denny's though. That's on Denny's.
The getting on stage for the first time, I thought I wouldn't have a problem with it at all. God damn it, it was just clumsy as shit. Just
well, that's inevitable, dude. You haven't gone to the gym in 4 months.
I mean, it was so stumbly where you're just like normally you got stuff in your pocket and you're like, oh, and then you're just sitting there going, oh, what's next? What's next? And then the next time we did 2 shows. The next time I got on stage, it started flowing a little bit. And then tonight we have 2 shows in San Antonio. That'll be great. And then we're off to New Orleans. We do a crawfish boil tomorrow.
New Orleans, man, that's one of my favorite places. I did a show there earlier this year, and then went to the college Super Bowl, LSU versus Clemson Tigers. The Tigers versus the Tigers. I had a great time.
What do you miss the most in this quarantine? What do you miss the most doing? Like, is it concerts, sporting events? Like, what do you miss the most? What's the first thing you're going to do when they go, quarantine's lifted, we found a cure, everyone's got the cure coming in the mail on Monday. What are you going to do that first weekend?
I'm going to fly a helicopter. My wife gave me the green light to do it today because it was Father's Day, but I was like, I don't want to leave my family on Father's Day, so I'm going to fly later on this week. First time since before the Kobe Bryant shit just kind of took all the fun out of it. You know what I mean? That was a bit of a bummer, obviously. So
you feel rusty when you fly if you haven't flown in a while?
Oh, God, yeah.
Really?
God, yeah. I'm on the radio, like, making bad calls and just, yeah, it's like anything else. If you don't do it, then you're not good at it. So I obviously go up with an instructor or whatever. And, I've gotten to know some people out there, and I got a friend who knows a guy who has an A-Star, which is the one the cops fly. That one's fucking awesome. So I figure if I'm only going to go up once this month, might as well go up in style. And also something nice and big everybody can see and shit, so it's good.
That clip of you and Rogan talking about masks is so funny, and it got so many views. But I love how the media wants to pit you guys like as if you're not.
I know we were both having a good time.
Yeah,
I said it, and I love making Joe laugh. That was like a great gut laugh from Joe. That's what I liked about it. And then it becomes like this. Yeah, everything gets like politicized and all of that shit. It was just 2 guys hanging out, joking around with each other, breaking balls.
Yeah, it's crazy what's going on. It just seems like a weird time,
I'll tell you, Bert, I think you got your finger on the pulse. This is definitely strange. This is not normal. I'll tell you, Bert, you know what separates your comedy from other people's stand-up is your ability to get to the root of what's. As we all dance around it, Bert, you just get right in there. God, I must have not thought that for 4 months. God, you're right, Bert. This is a weird time. Sorry, man.
We're trying to teach Jesus Trejo how to swim.
Not in the Rio Grande, you're not.
Yeah, we tried in a pool yesterday, and then we took him out to the Rio Grande with a life preserver. Because it's shallow. The Rio Grande's only it never gets deeper than 4 feet where we were. But dude, teaching a grown man to swim is fucking scary. Because panic muscles are no joke.
Oh yeah. So if I was going to try to teach an adult how to swim, the first thing I would do, shallow end, I'd get them to be comfortable with their head under the water. So just be like, you control everything, hang on to the side, close your eyes, and then go under.
Blow bubbles.
We're going to work it up to like 10 seconds, 15. So you're comfortable under there. Maybe get some goggles where you can see. And then all you got to do is just like face plant and you're going to float. Don't move. Just hold your breath. At any point, you can just put your foot down. I'm sure that's not the way to do it. I'm sure we have a couple of lifeguards going to be like, first of all, way to make middle-aged men drown with that misinformation.
That's what we did. We took him to the side. He held onto the side and he put his head in the water. And then we had him blow bubbles. And then we had him flutter kick holding onto the side. Then we had him flutter kick and let go of one hand and flutter kick. And then Dave Williamson grabbed him and pushed him to me like we were kids. And that was a fucking huge mistake because he grabbed on me it was, he grabbed onto me like panic, like, and you felt a grown man's use all his muscles. And we were like, all right, that's not going to work.
You quit on him?
We were like, we'll pick this up at the pool tomorrow. We'll try to, we'll hit it again tomorrow.
But he moved forward though, right?
He's moved forward. Now he can go underwater, like he can dunk underwater.
That's great. Well, that's half the battle right there.
It's crazy when like when you look at something like say learning a new language, you go, God, that seems insurmountable. But I think things like reading or swimming or those kind of skills that are seems like everyone just takes for granted. When you haven't done it and you're a grown up, he was legit terrified, like legit. And it just seems like something so many people take for granted. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sorry.
Do you remember?
I wanted to add more to that, but I just 100% agreed with it.
Do you remember learning how to swim?
Yeah. I learned late for kids. So I was like in 3rd or 4th grade.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we just didn't have a pool. You know, my friend across the street had an above ground pool when I was really young. But yeah, no. And then my mother got us all into swimming lessons. And it was embarrassing because it was all like these kids in like nursery school and kindergarten learn how to do the doggy paddle. And I was like 2 feet bigger than them going, you know. But then once I got it, I really took to it and I love it.
Yeah. I learned my uncle threw me in the pool.
There was 0 left turns or surprises. The second you said my uncle, I'm like, he threw him in the pool.
Yep.
No rocks in your bathing suit too, just to make it a little tougher?
Nope, just threw me in the pool.
So they could find out who the runt of the litter was?
Threw me in the pool and in front of my parents, didn't tell my parents, said this will teach him, and he just threw me in. And my dad is he's always been a very sensitive, liberal, like feelings guy. Like never ever said any slur of any type. That's not my dad. He's not a locker room talk guy. He's a very sensitive guy. And my dad lost his fucking shit. I mean, basically killing someone's kid, technically. I would love to have seen video of that.
I got to tell you, your uncle was way out of line. Way out of line. Even back then, that is way out of line.
Yeah.
What happened? So he fishes you out.
I learned how to swim. I just started swimming.
I just really refuse to believe that all of a sudden you turned into like Mark Spitz. Were you doing the flip over turns too, just because you had to?
I don't remember it all, but that's how I learned. Is I got thrown in the pool and then I just started swimming after that. And
gradually learned how to swim. You didn't just start swimming.
I think I figured it out. I took swim lessons, but I remember knowing how to dog paddle. That was my dog paddle was like what I could do.
Okay. See, I just needed you to clarify that because there's people listening to this, Bert.
Yeah.
And they're just going to throw their kid in there thinking that all of a sudden he's going to start doing the butterfly across the fucking pool.
Dude, I could never do the butterfly. That's one thing that I go, I wish I could do the butterfly. It looks so pretty.
Does it? It looks like you're snow plowing a pool.
It looks just that picture of you with your arms up and your face above the water with the goggles on. I would love to have one of those pictures.
It is 100% showing off. It is the most inefficient movement a human being could ever do if they're ever trying to get across the water. That porpoise kick alone.
Yeah.
Okay, how much effort that takes, and then to like, rather than just the fluid, the crawl is the shit. That's what it is. That's the deal right there. You know? Sorry, I gotta shut this fucking thing off here.
I just texted you both a clip that was going around this week of a woman who threw like a 6-month-old into the pool. Maybe.
Oh my God, I'm not watching that.
Shut up.
Not a bad one. It's like she's a swimming instructor and the kid just starts swimming. Like it's not.
Oh, it is?
Oh my God.
Oh, then I love this because this
It
just
goes under,
It was on Barstool,
and he just
nobody got
pops up. Holy shit. Oh, he's a baby.
I just want to lend credence to Bert's story. That, you know.
All right, well, here's the thing. The baby has an inability to panic. It's kind of like a kid. I mean, you're going to float up. Like after adults who can't swim after they drown, they float up like that too.
Yeah. Oh, people legit drown. There was a big thing on God damn it, I wish I could remember. I saw it was on Real Sports about starting these. I guess there was a football player who didn't know how to swim, and he said it was a big problem is people pushing each other in the pool, and if you push, a pool's got to be fucking terrifying to you if you can't swim, and to be at a party,
it's like a pit of fire, I would imagine.
Yeah,
it's death to them. It's death. You're looking at it like, oh wow, this is great. Little R&R there, Bert.
Yeah.
I'm having a tough time this Father's Day.
Why?
Because I realize that when I have to learn how to let people do shit for me. Because I sit there going, oh, no, I don't need anything. And then it sucks for them because they can't do stuff. And then afterwards, I look at all my friends. Hey, I went golfing with my son. I did this. And I'm like, why don't I do? Low self-esteem is rearing its ugly head. So my wife was going, hey, what do you want for dinner? Let me do something special. I'm like, we got all that food in the fridge. Let's just eat it up. It stresses me out when there's extra food. I don't like throwing food out. I just see you looking at me like, oh, boy, this is fun. I said, all right, you're right. You're right.
So wait, what is your Father's Day? What does your Father's Day look like? I'm on the road. I had mine last week.
What have I done today? Well, I hung out with my wife and beautiful kids, and then I know I did something. I worked out, kept going with the rehab of the shoulder, and did a couple boxes here in the office. I mean, at some point, the office is going to look fucking great. I'm on my way, so I just have to, So I've been doing just shit like that. Listen, here's the deal, dude. If there wasn't this quarantine right now, I would go out with all of them tonight to some greasy spoon mom and pop place. Everybody gets burgers, and I get a burger, split a burger with my wife and a root beer float. Maybe a little fucking stick. I'm going back to the sticks, dude. I fucked up.
Really?
I fucked up, Bert.
I saw you smoking one with Joe, and I went, oh.
I should have said no, because I had already smoked 2 days in a row. Because somebody got me some cigars, great cigars. Great cigars, Bert, for my birthday. So it was the night before my birthday, and I was going to wait till my birthday, but then I was like, oh, it's my last day of being 51. I'll smoke one. So I smoked that, and then it was my birthday, and then I did a Zoom call with all my friends, you know what I mean, all the buddies, and we fucking did that. So I was like, all right, those are my two, because I had none in February, one in March, none in April, 2 in May. And then I just had my 2 for June, and then I was done. And then I did Rogan, so that was the 3rd one. And then they were laying around, so I had a 4th one. And then yesterday, a buddy of mine came by and brought flowers for Nia, having the baby. Nate Craig came by, and I was like, hey, you want a cigar? So that was number 5. But here's the thing. I only have like 2 cigars left, and I'm not buying any more. And the reason how I was able to go for so long is I just didn't have them in the house. So I'm kind of confident that I can go back But you know, I woke up. I took the steak out of its heart, man. I fucked up. Fucked up, dude.
I brought cigars with me here, but I'll tell you what, I've gotten rid of the thought process of of wanting a cigar. So I haven't had a cigar in probably like 4 months, I'm guessing. And so yesterday we're floating the Rio Grande and we have beers. We're like, got these great IPAs. And all of a sudden I go, oh shit, I should have brought a cigar. This is perfect, being in the inner tube, smoking a cigar. And normally my brain was like, if you float in the river, make sure to bring 2 cigars. You're going to want one at the beginning and then the middle or towards the end. Make sure you have enough beers. Make sure you have more than enough beers, more than enough cigars, extra lighters. One's going to fall in the water. And I didn't do cigars. And I was like, God damn it, I guess I forgot. Like, the addiction part wasn't there.
Yeah. No, it's being free of all your vices is an amazing 3 days. No, it's an amazing, it's just, I think once you've opened that Pandora box, it's really hard to know what you're missing. Because I look at the first 17 years of my life, I was basically straight edge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just out of not being a kid. So every weekend I wasn't like, oh God. I mean, I need to get a buzz. I just had never done it. So I was excited to watch the $6 Million Man or some shit. That was my fucking cigar for the weekend. So I was sort of wondering if you can kind of go back to that, because I don't watch porn anymore. I don't drink anymore. I had cigars at bay, but then I worry, like, then am I going to be like a 600-pound person? Because I feel like those people that get that big is they don't do anything else. So then their thing becomes that. And then if you're a creative overeater, you know what I mean? Like, anybody can go out and just eat a gallon of ice cream. But the people that came up with sticking the candy bars in there, you know, and what if I took 2 slices of marinara pizza and I used that as like the sandwich for it, and they just start building. It's like prog rock song structure, but with food. Or sometimes listen to that prog rock, it's just, you're just doing this just to do it because it's fucking difficult. And I feel like they do the same thing.
Yeah, I made a cake for Georgia's birthday, and I froze Milky Ways, and then I crushed them after they're frozen, and I put them in the middle of the cake, in between 2 cakes, with icing, and they were fun. That was one of the most amazing cakes I've ever had.
Dude, if you made a Milky Way taste good, then that's amazing.
You don't like
Milky Way is a soulless Snickers bar. It's just there's a couple candy bars out there. It's just like, how do they survive year after year? 3 Musketeer. Terrible.
I love 3 Musketeer.
Oh, then you know what it is? There's some sort of like, you're into like nougat. You like
I love nougat.
I don't even know what it is. Nougat. I don't know what nougat is like. That's like the plastic of the chocolate industry. That has to be man-made. Is there a nougat tree? I don't even know what the fuck that shit is.
Oh, I love a Milky Way. I love a 3 Musketeer. I love the progression from Milky Way, or from 3 Musketeer to Milky Way to Snickers. I wish they had one just past Snickers.
Oh, what would that look like?
Oh, it would have to have. I'll tell you what. One of my favorite things in the world is toffee. I love toffee.
Oh, like saltwater toffee?
No, not taffy. Toffee.
What's toffee?
Like a score bar. You ever had a
score? No.
You've never had a score bar?
No, but I love the name, especially post Me Too.
That's good.
Fucking scored with this one. We need a less male aggressive name for the candy bar. What's your top 5? Top 5 candy bars. Right off the top of your head, no particular order.
It's got to be. I put a Reese's peanut butter cup in there. Reese's peanut butter cup. I love Reese's peanut butter cups. They're the best. Score bar number 1. Snickers.
Oh, Scores, SKOR. That thing looks borderline highfalutin.
Yeah. Butterfingers.
Butterfingers, I can only do those in the small ones. Those things, like, after, like, 3 bites of those, you're like, Jesus Christ.
No, I can do the big stick.
All right, here's my 5.
Let me hear.
Hershey bar with almonds. Almond Joy.
Sounds like a fucking serial killer.
Kit Kat. Why is that like a serial killer? I thought you were laughing because they were just boring mainstream choices.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? Who likes a Hershey's bar with almonds?
What are you talking? I mean, that's like fucking his apple pie and Chevrolet.
It's just no razzle dazzle.
Oh, see, I know. I'm like, dude, I also like my sneakers like the Dr. J Converse. I like them like that. I don't like you're more the Shaq. Remember, his first sneaker was like an eye chart, like like the beginning of the Twilight Zone. I got one more left.
Almond Joys are great. I put Almond Joy on my list. Almond Joy is great.
Yeah, and Mounds can go fuck themselves. Mounds is a lazy almond bar. No, wait. People have peanut allergies. I'm sorry. I take that back. What did I say? Hershey bar with almonds, Almond Joy, Kit Kat, Snickers.
Snickers.
No, I wouldn't go Snickers. Snickers I actually eat when I'm hungry. And I'm in a jam because peanut M&Ms.
Ooh.
And then I go Reese's peanut butter cup.
Your peanuts in my chocolate. Your chocolate's in my
peanut butter. Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, that was the first time. Well, they had an orgy of taste.
I told my daughters I remembered when Whatchamacallits came out. Do you remember? I remember the branding of Whatchamacallit. What you got? A Whatchamacallit. Whoa, Whatchamacallit. No, it's a Whatchamacallit. Those commercials, I remember.
What about O. Henry? I talked about this on Opie and Anthony 15 years ago. They marketed the shit out of that candy bar when it came out, and they never did it again. It was like, oh, Henry, the bar that's mostly nuts. And they had like this candy bar running around acting like it was crazy.
I don't remember that.
That was late 70s, Bert. I'm a lot older than you.
O. Henry, what's in it? I don't remember. I don't think I've ever had an O. Henry.
It had a lot of peanuts in it, evidently. And me and my brothers bought that candy bar because of the commercial. And there was something called a marathon bar because it was just like caramel and I don't know what, and it took you like fucking an hour to eat it. And it looked like, those chicks do the things down the side, not the ponytails, but there's space in between them.
Yeah.
It looked like a belt of just molasses and sugar and I don't know what.
If you met a person and they said, and you were like, hey, I'm going to go to candy bars. What's your favorite candy bar? And they were like, hey, grab me a Fifth Avenue. You'd be like, huh?
I would say that's a trust fund kid. Trust fund kid whose parents were distant and was actually raised by the matriarch of the family.
Fifth Avenue candy bar.
Do me a favor. When you're done washing my feet, could you go get me one of those Fifth Avenues?
Created just after the Depression, I think.
Now he jerks off to old people fucking in the porn sites. It's a very slippery slope. That Score bar actually looked good. Does that got a crunch in there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Score bar. There's a Score bar, and then what's the relative of the Score bar? It's
you stumped them.
The Heath bar?
A Heath bar.
Yeah, it actually comes up in the search together.
Heath bar I've had.
Heath and Score. There's different. One's a butter toffee, I think.
Heath is a dying name for a boy.
One's English toffee.
Yeah.
And one is
one's English toffee and the crisp butter toffee. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like them both, honestly. I always put crushed. I bought, when we went to Costco, I bought the huge industrial box of Score bars, and I would take a Score bar, crack it, and then just throughout the day, just grab little pieces of it. Just.
Could you please do that again?
Little,
and I just.
You
get naughty treat, over there, Bert?
Little treat for Dad.
Jesus Christ, Bert. Like, I don't know how you stay in the shape you're in.
I'm in horrible shape right now. I'm in great shape running.
I don't think you're in bad shape. I don't think you're in bad shape at all. Your face looks good. Your skin is clear and all that type of stuff. But whenever you talk about what you shop for, my 6 months of doing this with you, I have never heard a vegetable once. It's always like, dude, you know what I like doing? You know what I like doing? I go out, I get these turkey dogs, right? I get these turkey dogs. Then I go to the candy aisle. A lot of people don't like those fucking candy corns. I love them. You put them in the fucking, it's always just like mad scientist diabetes shit.
Dude, I have a horrific sweet tooth, especially when I wasn't drinking. I could light up. I would just go crazy. I remember taking a Score bar and I put it on top of a granola bar. And then I put it in the oven and it melted together. And what happened was they both got soft. And then I got too excited and I bit into it. And the heated toffee got stuck to my teeth and I couldn't get it off. And I was afraid I was going to rip my teeth out. So I had to just sit there. Do you remember when you were a kid and you take a communion wafer and put it on the top of your mouth and then let it slowly dissolve and you kind of work it and let it go away by your tongue? I had to do that with the toffee stuck to my roof. I miss getting communion. I miss going to church.
I miss believing.
Yeah.
I was a better person when I believed.
But
I also think I gradually got jaded and religion just fell off with a lot of other shit. Like I was going through a bunch of old shit. I was showing you this, as I'm cleaning up my office, trying to get rid of all this fucking crap I've gathered throughout the years, trying to give shit away. This was in 1994, my little date book and all of these gigs that I had, all of these fucking gigs. Look at this. Nick's Boston, the Grill 93, the Kowloon, the High Five in fucking Manchester, New Hampshire. I worked every fucking day that month.
Jesus. That's 96?
94. Giggles, $50 a set. Nick's, 75. Jimbo's, that was in Braintree. Right up the street from the South Shore Plaza. Dick Doherty, Hampton. Yeah, these are like all classic. This is before I moved. Comedy Connection in Providence, they'd always fuck you on the money. I middled. No, you co-hosted. The fuck does that mean? Yeah, no college gigs. These are all just spots. Oh my God.
Did you ever run where you did a lot of colleges? I never did.
I did, but not until I had been doing it for. It was a. I don't know if it still exists. There was this agency called Pretty Polly outside of Massachusetts, and they'd book you, and it was like, it was a couple $100 to do a gig, which was fucking insane. I mean, I used to unload trucks all week and walk with $260 after taxes, $259 something. I remember that. Dude, I found my report cards.
Really?
Oh my God. I found this picture of my first girlfriend. I didn't even know I still had it. She sang in a band, right? So there was like a flyer. And I was like, oh my God, this is so fucking long ago.
What's one thing you wish that you could find that you were like, I've been looking for this?
Oh, my stud finder. I'm trying to hang up all these fucking pictures I got. I found a stud finder. I found my drill and my charger. I found some headphones. Nothing exciting, dude. Nothing exciting. Like all the flashy shit I have, people know about. The drums, the old truck. Other than that, like I try to keep it simple. And I actually have anxiety about owning too much shit. That's why I'm trying to get rid of a lot of this stuff.
We all shop online, and we've all seen that promo code field taunt us at checkout. But thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past. Honey is the free browser extension that finds promo codes for you and actually applies them to your cart. How great is that, Bill?
That's fantastic. That's something I've dreamed about.
Let me tell you how it works. Imagine you're shopping on one of your favorite sites. What's one of your favorite sites, Bill?
For shopping?
Yeah.
Well, I'd have to say eBay.
Okay. When you check out, the Honey button drops down, and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. Wait a few seconds, and as Honey scans its database of all the working coupons for that site, watch the prices drop Honey's found over 17 million members, over $2 billion in savings. Honey supports over 30,000 online stores like DoorDash, Target, Lululemon. If you haven't already started using Honey, you could straight up be missing out on free money. It's literally free, and it installs in a few seconds. And by getting it, you're doing a solid by supporting this podcast. Go and get Honey for free. Join at honey.com/Bill Bert. That's joinhoney.com/Bill Bert. Joinhoney.com/Bill Bert. Yeah.
I used to be a male stripper back in the day when I was down there. It was Cowboy Bill and his freckled prick. No, this is from the Comedy Jam when I used to dress up like Vinnie Paul, rest his soul.
I have been consistently looking, and whenever I go to my parents' house or like an old storage unit, they have an old storage unit for the Stars and Stripes. When I was in Russia and on the train, the conductor really came in and ripped off his like little Stars and Stripes and gave them to me, and I've been looking for that every time. It's like the one thing I know I have it. No one would throw it away. It's
the conductor, was he carrying a little lantern and hanging off the back of the train?
Yeah. Ting, ting, hello.
I got one thing that I've had since I was a kid, and somehow it accidentally got broken when I moved out. I have an old Patriots football helmet, like a fucking badass one. You want to see it?
Yeah.
And the fucking mask is off it. So I ordered some clips for it. I got this thing in the early 70s. Look at this thing. Right?
Oh, wow.
And it's like a Rydell. It's a really good.
I got one of those. I got a Bucks one like that.
Check it out. Everybody had the 1-bar or the 2-bar quarterback thing. I had the full lineman fucking mask on it. So what I'm trying to find is I'm trying to go online where I can just buy the clips so I can just reattach it because the mask is totally fine. So if anybody has a website, see up top here where they broke?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was always like, I remember when I had moved out and I came home and it was broken. And I was talking to one of my brothers, like, how the fuck did this break? Oh, it's a football helmet.
You look at those helmets and you totally understand how they got CTE.
You know what's funny about this fucking thing, too, is it never fit my head because my head was always this size. So I got it when I was, I don't know how many years old, like 5 or 6. It still didn't fit. I couldn't get it. I couldn't get past here.
I always wanted. Did you play football growing up?
I played literally for a month, and my dad called that CTE shit way, way, way ahead. And he just didn't like it, and he took me out, which is the greatest thing he could have done because I wasn't fast. I mean, was I going to make the NFL? I was just going to – I'm already dumb. He's probably thinking, this kid is already dumb. He's smashing his brain around. But he like – I wanted to go out as wide receiver because I was always good at catching shit. But Darryl Stingley had just gotten paralyzed from the neck down on that Jack Tatum hit. Just, unfortunate hit. So my parents didn't want me to do that. So they go, what position you want to play? And I just said guard because it sounded tough to me. And then it was just the most unexciting position ever. And that was back like in the 70s where you had to like keep your fucking hands like this. You couldn't even like have your hands away. So, yeah, I saw an old picture one time. I was number 25, only for like a month. But I remember instantly football was not fun. Football was my favorite thing ever. And then we went to play football, and like the coach was having us do leg lifts. And if they were coming down, he was kicking you in the leg right in front of the parents. So I used to take my thigh pads and I'd put them on the side. So if he kicked me, it was just that shit back then of like, you got to abuse a little boy, make him tough. So it was kind of like, yeah, man, I like tackling people and shit. I'm not into like an adult kicking me when I'm on the fucking ground. But I was just like, I guess this is how it is. But my dad was kind of like, yeah, son, you're just knocking your brain around. This isn't play base. So I played baseball instead.
Yeah, me too. I remember playing football, and it was back when they thought hydration was bad for you. And they were like, no water. You don't need water. Toughen you up. And you're in Florida just like, ah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everything was about making you tougher. They did that. I remember when we played baseball, Actually, no, the guy gave me great advice. He goes, now when you guys go home, don't drink a ton of water. You're going to get sick. Have a piece of fruit instead. And I went home and I just drank a ton of water. And I was like, Rosie was the assistant coach's name. I said to my brother, Rosie was right. Rosie. And then I had a couple slices of apple and I immediately felt better then. But I loved it, dude. I played outfield. I was always good at catching shit, and I was a decent hitter. I just had no wheels. But you know what was funny was I stayed in shape, though. And right around when I was like 30, I went with a bunch of comedians to Central Park and played just touch football. And the first time in my life I heard somebody go, watch out for Burr. Watch Burr. He's fast. I almost fell down laughing going, do you realize how fucking slow you guys are and out of shape if you think I'm fucking fast? Because I was slow at the peak of my life, and now I was 30. So
when right after I think we had Isla, just around that time, all the Comedy Store comics like Ren Azizi and Fred Ernst and everyone, Steve Byrne, started going to this softball field over at Pan Pacific Park and playing home run derby. And I played legit baseball. Like I got recruited to go to college to play.
Oh,
so
fuck,
like,
you could play. That's amazing.
Yeah, they're like, so you want to do it? And I was like, well, yeah. Where are we playing? They go, oh, this softball field. And I was like, and we're just trying to hit home runs? And they're like, yeah. I swear to God, on my children's lives, I got up there the first time, and every ball they threw to me, I hit out of the park. And they were just like, wait, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, I played baseball growing up. And they're like, this is like, I remember it's so funny too, because Brett Ernst, he would swing, and as he'd hit, he'd go, get the fuck out of here. Come on. Sebastian Maniscalco made me laugh so hard because he is who he is, right? The guy he is on stage is who he is all the time. He had matching batting gloves, matching knee pads.
I picture him coming out looking like Jack Clark. Remember that guy on St. Louis? Same kind of hair.
Yeah, just like perfectly manicured. A headband. They got the black glove with black shoes, with black hair. It was hilarious. That's how I met all those guys. I didn't know any of those guys. Steve Byrne said, "Hey man, you should make more friends." And he was like, "Why don't you come over? We're gonna do home run derby." And I met all those guys. Mike Young, Butch Bradley. God, that was fun as shit.
Yeah, I remember going back to all the little league and major league fields in my hometown a couple of times, and just how small. Remember how far the fence used to look, and then you get up there, you're just like, oh my God, am I that old?
I would like to take some batting practice with a professional baseball team.
You should do it. I was actually, because my daughter's been playing and she hits lefty, so I just been hitting lefty just to do it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of going to like a batting range when this shit is all over. I mean, maybe you can do it.
You can go to a batting cage now.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
How old do the kids have to be before you can bring them there?
Probably older than your daughter, I would say.
Yeah, because I that thing can come in pretty damn fast. I don't feel like.
Did I tell you this story about the one time I saw my dad lose his shit? We went to a batting cage, and it was at Malibu Golf and Game, and I got in there, and the batting machine fucking just hit me, and I was like, ah! And my dad goes to these kids, he's like, hey, the batting machine's broken. So they go, okay. So they go behind it, and they peek their head through like the mesh thing, and they're like, try it now. So I get in, and it hits me again. And I was like, and he's like, no, it's still not working. And you can see they're laughing a little bit, and they're like, try it now. So I get in, and it hits me again. Now they're pissing themselves. And he goes, and my dad's like, hey, it's still not fucking working. And they go, one more time. I get in, I get hit again, and they are crying laughing. And my dad loses his shit, throws all the tokens, grabs my bat, and starts running the bat down the chain link fence. You motherfuckers, I'll fucking kill you. And they're crying laughing. And I remember leaving with my dad, and my dad was like, you can't do that to my son. You can't hurt my son. No one hurts my son. And I was like, oh shit.
So what ended up, did he get to the kids or no?
No, we left. We walked away. We left.
He didn't get his money back or anything.
We walked away. My
He
dad
was probably afraid of what he was going to do to those kids. Like, let's get the fuck out of here before I swing the bat at him.
God, yeah. We walked in. I remember they were, as you left the batting cages, you had to walk past the bumper boats, and they were on the other side of the bumper boats than we were. And my dad still had the bat in hand and was yelling at these kids, like fucking. And but my dad's all about like no confrontation. Like he doesn't like do not say anything. Don't call anybody. Don't send an email. Like when all this stuff goes down, you know, like online and everyone's like, Bert, what's your take on this? I hear my dad in my head going, hey, don't say a word. Just listen. Let the chips fall. Don't be the first guy to reply. Don't be the first guy to be posting stuff online. Like that's my dad is like very measured, you know?
Yeah. It's a smart way to be. Dude, bumper cars reminded me of, I got the shit kicked out of me at this carnival one time. It's at this place, Rocky Point. I think it was in Rhode Island. So I was an altar boy, and they used to take us down for the altar boy retreat where you get to go on all the rides for free for being an altar boy for the year. No, I was not touched. So we go down there, and we going on all the rides for free, and we were having a great time. And me and my other altar boy buddy, we were on this ride that took you over the park, you know, the little swing. So it takes you out and then it brings you back. So, you know, I was having a good time. So we were rowing up and there was some kids were coming down this way. As we passed them, one of them laughed like, oh, and I went, oh, like that. Right? And he turns around and he goes, I'm fucking waiting for you. And I was like, oh shit. Right. My buddy didn't know how to fight. And then we start coming around. And as I'm going back down, I see him on the ground pacing back and forth like a fucking lion. And he's got like 5 kids with him. It was one of those deals. I got off and they circled around me and they all started pushing me. And every time I would gain my balance, they'd push me again. And then I just got stomped into the ground. My buddy sat there and watched it. And I remember I was all fucked up. My elbow was all skinned. My hair was all fucked up. So then I went over. And then I made the dumb move of being like, oh, you're pretty tough with all your friends, right, is what I said. It would have been over, but I had to say that. I had to save some face. So I walked over to the bumper car. It's the worst car ride ever to get on to try to get your shit together. And I remember I was standing in line, and then the kid who I yelled at, who had a dead tooth already at his age, and he outweighed me by, he was like a little trucker. Is what the fuck. You know when somebody's sitting down, you can't tell how big they were? He was way out of my weight class. And I was in the line, and I just feel this kid push me from behind. I turn around, that dead tooth kid was like right in my grill. He goes, my friends aren't here now. Now what's up? And I'm like, nothing. And then I got on the bumper cars trying to get my shit together. Everybody's slamming into me. And after that ride, I just went back to the bus, the big, long, yellow bus. I just stayed on there eating my lunch that my mother packed me. And at this point, it was like a tuna sandwich, so it had to be at least 80 degrees. And I was just sitting there like, I just want this day to be over. I got a lot of those, Bert. There's not a lot. And then Bill won the fight when I was a kid. There was a lot of losing. Took a lot of losses.
I had a lot of me saying something and then someone coming in just kicking my ass or nutting me up in front of everybody.
Oh yeah, I had plenty nutting up, and then I had a couple of nice. Yeah, I took a nice one at Rocky Point. I took a nice one. You know what's funny was there was adults around. It was weird. It was sort of the middle of the week, so it was there wasn't a lot of people there, but there was enough people there to step in, and people did not. There was no stepping in.
Oh,
yeah.
I'd rather be the guy that lost the fights than like I remember the guys that won the fights. Their lives, like the big badass dudes in high school, their lives have never turned out well. Like there's no connective tissue with being able to beat everyone up and then just succeeding in life. I feel like all those guys that beat the shit out of everyone are just kind of like losers now that I knew.
That's not the case where I'm from. My grade is like wildly successful. Like when I went back for a reunion, like my 25th reunion, and then I also met a bunch of them on the road. Every one of them has a job, it seems, equally, if not more interesting. I thought I was going to be like, I had a buddy of mine going like, oh, yeah, I heard about you when I was in the U.S. Embassy in Rome. And he was like working for like, I don't know, like the FBI. I don't know what he was working. And I was just listening to his stories like, gee, I just tell jokes. They all, a lot of people own their own businesses. Wow. And a lot of them too, when knuckleheads when I was a kid. Knuckleheads not being they were dumb, but they definitely they had their fun. So I don't know.
The last guy that kicked my ass, I follow him on Instagram, and
why do you follow him on Instagram?
I don't know. I follow a couple people I hate on Instagram.
I have a couple of guilty pleasures that I check in with.
Oh yeah.
But I don't root against them. But there's definitely, like when there's the show within the show on somebody's, there's what they're presenting and everybody's buying, and then you're laughing at the subtext of all of it. Yeah, I got a couple of those.
Oh, I find it fucking comical. There's a bunch of people I follow, and then there's people I don't follow, but I go to their profile once a week and check out what bullshit they've said. You're just like, ugh.
Well, that's mine. I don't follow them either, but I check in like once every 6 months.
Yeah.
When I'm on the road, and this is what my shit goes when I go late night on eBay. It's like not on eBay, on the internet. I always end up at eBay, but I start off with like, I watch old sports. I've been watching a bunch of old NFL stuff, which then reminds me of shit when I was a kid. I start trying to find old commercials from when I was a kid, and then old toys. And then I go on eBay just to see if anybody has them and what they're going for, like bikes that I wanted when I was a kid, or shirts, or old Patriots gear. I found all of that shit like late night. Then every once in a while, I think about people I went to high school with. I check up on them on Facebook. They're seem to be all doing great, which is cool. And then I start, if I get really like lonely on the road, I start Google Earthing old houses I lived in and seeing what
Shut up.
The trees I used to climb, what they look like. Oh, dude, I go down a fucking, I don't know what a rabbit hole.
What? You don't seem like someone that gets caught up in online drama. Like you just seem like you stay out of it. Totally.
Yeah, and I've had plenty of people say shit that was worthy because you're not. You can't win any of. There's no winning any of it. It's so if you respond, then you're the fucking asshole. And then also like so much of it, a lot of it has also really helped my conspiracy theory, because like some of the conspiracy theory that people have come up with me and the way I am now versus the way I was, and how they tie my wife into it and shit. And I just sit there going like, wow, man. But you look at how they put it together, and it does make sense as far as it is goes from here to here to here to here. It's just none of it is factual, but it all looks like it makes sense. So yeah. I stay out of all of that. And like I said, I avoid, I go high and by, but people who are really like on social media, like going like, the toucan is endangered. And every time you put on a fucking multicolored t-shirt, you're part of the problem, whatever the fuck that. I just give them a wide berth.
Yeah. I got last night, I got a call from someone saying, hey man, did you behave inappropriately with a girl comic? And I was like, I took this girl, I won't say her name just out of respect for her, but there's a hilarious girl I worked with for probably 3 years on the road. Took her with me everywhere. She's awesome.
Joe DeRosa?
Awesome. Yeah. And I guess she put out a tweet saying, there's really great male comedians out there. And she named just 3 male comedians and didn't name me. That's all she did was didn't name me. And everyone goes, oh, there must be something. He must have done something to her. And you're like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, and then I looked at her and she's like, I don't know what the fuck I did. I was just trying to say something nice. And I was like, listen, I'm cool. You're cool. That's all that matters. Let everyone spin out of control. Like, I've never,
yeah,
Tito's bottles,
that's kind of how
Tito's
it
bottles.
works. It works
Yeah,
with
and
a
you're
nugget
like,
of information and then a ton of assumption. My favorite thing with those cases is the people who don't know either person involved, and then they act like they're concerned for the alleged victim while they turn the spotlight of the whole story onto themselves. Those ones that go like, and I'm surprised why, or this didn't surprise me at all, or like, this is me hearing that so-and-so did X, Y, and then it's just like, oh, is this about you? Are you really doing dude, I called it with the sexual assault case? And then also, if you knew this shit, why didn't you fucking say something? You're waiting for the rest of us to catch up? The fuck are you talking about? That's like the sports fan that I hated. Like, why did they run it? I would have fucking after it fucks up.
Have you ever dated a female comic?
I hung out, way back in the day. I mean, dude, you're going back like 20-something years.
Yeah.
20-something years. So, I mean, nothing real. Dude, I was a really fucking walled off. Dude, I was spaghetti Western guy back then. Like, I would go on the road and do a run of college dates, and I wouldn't talk to anybody all day long other than ordering food. And then the next thing after I ordered my Grand Slam breakfast, the next thing I would say is, hey, I'm Bill Burr. I'm the comic for tonight. That would be it. And I just, dude, I'm weird. I used to go to I went to all the baseball stadiums. I went to all the football stadiums. I went to games by myself during the day. That's how I would kill a day. And whatever the fuck happened to me as a kid made me want to be by myself because then no one could fuck with me. So I was, as an adult, I still had that little kid mindset. So, I could have had a lot more fun. I did not. I fucking My idea of fun was going to the Kingdome and sitting out in center field behind Ken Griffey Jr. and running to get one of the home runs, trying to get it, and thinking like, I've seen this on This Week in Baseball so many fucking times. Like that, and, going up into the Space Needle by myself.
Yeah.
I went to the Mall of America and rode the roller coaster all by myself. I did a lot of shit by myself. So, yeah.
I think for whatever reason, my first sexual experience was so bad that it made me terrified to do it with other people. Like I was always embarrassed because I was like, I'm just not good at it. And for whatever reason, that is, I guess, that's the thing that kind of kept me away from ever dating comics. So I was like, I don't want to do that to someone with a sharp wit and then have them eviscerate me.
Oh, yeah, because then they're going to do a bit. Or if you just went out with them, anytime they're talking about an asshole guy, they're like, oh, is she talking about you?
Yeah, I was like
I don't think so. I don't know. But,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a weird time, Bert.
A weird time, Bill.
Fucking weird fucking time. Yeah.
I gotta go. I want to go Google map my old houses now.
Oh yeah. No, I did that with a bunch of them. I in some weird way would almost buy a childhood home if I could. Or no, you know what I would like to do? If it goes on the market, I would like to look at it. Just go in, and I don't know why. And I have that weird sentimental sort of something.
My buddy Eddie, one time we were driving through Hollywood and we were in the hills and he said, I bet they have a beautiful view. And I was like, I bet they do. And he goes, bet me $100 I can't get in their house. And I was like, excuse me? He goes, bet me $100 I can't get in their house. And I was like, I'll bet you $100 you can't get in their house. He pulls over, knocks on the door. Lady comes to the door and he goes, hey, I grew up here and I just wanted to see my old room. Is that okay? She goes, yeah, that's totally fine. And then he just looks at me. He goes, oh, we're good. And we walked away. And he goes, I could have gotten in that fucking house. I went, holy shit.
And you should have said, and I could have given you $100, but you didn't.
I didn't pay him. I didn't pay him. That guy was so good at that shit. He would go into Subway and go, is Bill here? And they go, no, I don't know Bill. And they're like, oh, Bill's the sub-regional manager. I'm here. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm here to order a sandwich. Bill's going to watch me eat it. I'm going to talk through how you make sandwiches. I'm going to just give you a great review. Make me your best sandwich and do your best job. Put it together. And then I'll just eat it and I'll tell Bill it was great. And they're like, okay. And so they make a sandwich. He was, obviously, I'm not going to pay for it. And they're like, oh, yeah, no, of course. Yeah. And he would eat the sandwich and go, you did great. I'm going to tell Bill it was amazing. It was like he was so good at that
They would
shit.
fall for that? He must have been a little smoother than, obviously, I'm not going to pay for it. Because even as gullible as I am, I'd be
so
like, wait a
smooth.
minute.
So smooth. That guy still is. I'm going to see him in July 3rd. He is one of the most interesting, bizarre, creative, like, I mean, I'm sure now people look at that and go, that's horrible behavior, but in college it was fucking fascinating to watch.
Yeah. I was always amazed at people like that had the balls. Because I think, going on stage and just people are expecting you. It's part of the show to do that. Like I got friends of mine, they do shit off stage I wouldn't do on stage. And they somehow are able to get away with it, not get the shit kicked out. Because that's my thing is always like, I'm going to get the shit kicked out of me.
Yeah.
It's going to be Rocky Point all over again. I don't want to be underneath 4 kids again trying to guess the brand of their sneakers. That feels like a pro kid. Are you freezing up on me? Or are you looking at your house?
I saw it. No. My internet connection is unstable. I don't know what happened. You look fine now. Can you see me?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I can't imagine getting beat up now.
Oh, I can imagine it. I can imagine me taking like this with this fucked up shoulder, whatever skill set I have at 52, it would not be good. That's why when you get older, you get a gun. You're too old. My fucking shit. I can't throw punches anymore. I got a bad hip. Just get the fuck out of here. I'll shoot you in your leg.
That's why I don't talk shit to people driving. You never know. Someone might know how to fight and want to fight.
Dude, let me tell you about these fucking kids today, man. Okay? These fucking kids, the level of information out there. Just like, if they just tried half the shit, you can watch these videos, these fucking, whoever thought to take their forearm and fucking hit somebody in the throat with it? They get you in a headlock and you put your hand over so they can't breathe. Just little shit like that. Fuck all of that.
Dude.
And then you got these kids that take on the MMA shit. They know how to choke you out. Fuck that. Fuck that.
I've not seen one punch that hasn't ended with the guy hitting his head on the fucking ground. Every fucking punch I've seen, and I'm like, God damn it, man. I bet there are people who throw their first punch not realizing, oh, I could just kill a human being.
I know, but you know what's even worse is when you fall frontwards, because then you could like, seems like those are the people that break their necks.
God damn it. Yeah, I think I remember I tried to write a joke about, I don't think you should hit a woman, but I also don't think you should hit a man, because I don't definitely want to be hit. Like, fucking being attacked is being attacked.
Yeah, and women come with all 4 limbs. It's just wild. They're just coming at you like fucking. My wife's come at me a couple times. The way she comes at me is the way if I fell off a fucking building. Like when you're coming down, like she fucking comes at you like that. Just all 4 limbs, everything.
I got this shit kicked out of me by a woman at a Hank Williams Jr. concert when I was in high school. My friends fought her friends, and she fought me, and I didn't want to hit her, and she just beat the shit out of me in stands at the Sundome Arena in Tampa. and I like tripped up and fell, and she was just on top of me, just wailing, and I'm just like this, going, "Someone get her the fuck off me!"
Yep, that just reminded me. I got beat up by a girl when I was in 3rd grade. I was playing with this girl, and we had the kickball, and she was running with it, and I went to rip it out of her hands. And the way I did it, when I took it, she hit my shoulder. We hit shoulders, which sent her veering into the side of the school, which are all made out of brick. So she hit her head, and then her sister, big girl, 5th grader, came over. And as I was trying to explain that it was an accident, just, it started hailing. And I covered up. She kicked the shit out of me. And then right after she kicked the shit out of me, recess ended. So I'm standing in line. I'm trying to get my shit. I'm trying to straighten out my shirt. And I am this close to crying, but I can't cry because it was a girl. So I'm like doing this. And then this girl that I liked came up to me and was like, "She shouldn't have done that to you." And then I was like, "Ah!" I just started fucking crying. Oh, it was awful. I haven't thought about that in like fucking 30 years.
I miss crying after a fight. Did you cry when your son was born?
You know what? I did get I didn't get like, I was holding it back. I cried the anticipation. And then when your kid is born, there's that fear. Is he okay? Is he okay? Count toes, count fingers, everything, all of that shit. And then I'm stunned. I'm stunned afterwards. Like, I can't believe this. But then, what was it? Probably like a day later, the next day, I think, I got him all wrapped up, and he does one of those cute baby yawns. Then I was kind of like, I got some in my eye, Yeah, it's awesome.
I cried when Georgia was born. We took her. We left Leanne, and then we took her to go get her bathed and get all the little shots and done, and check her out. And the nurse left me in the room with her and went out to get something. And I went down and I started telling her who I was. I'll get emotional just thinking about it. Telling her who I was and that I was going to be there with her for the rest of her life, and just wanted to introduce myself. And I was bawling, crying, telling her about, listen, all these good things are going to happen to you, and I'm going to be a great dad, and I'm sobbing, crying. And I look up, and the nurse has been in the room for like half of me just talking to this kid and just standing there looking at me. And she goes, "You done?" I said, "I am." And she goes, "Okay, let's get her washed."
That's cool. They see that all that. They like seeing that.
Yeah. I cried so hard when Georgia was born that the doctor started crying, the nurses started crying, and the anesthesiologist started crying. Everyone started crying.
Well, Jesus, Bert, we got to get you in a drama.
Dude,
you can move people's emotions.
Let me tell you something, Bill. Don't watch The Time Traveler's Wife, because at the end of the movie, it for me was the story of being a stand-up comedian, always being on the road, coming home on weekdays. I saw the end of Time Traveler's Wife. I was in a hotel room, naked on the corner of a bed, just out of the shower, and I start watching it. Now I'm all of a sudden sobbing, fucking crying, going like, "That's me."
What is it, like Cats in the Cradle, like the person's not around?
No, it's this guy, the time traveler is Eric Bana. And this is why it connected with me so much. In order not to time travel, he drinks. So that keeps him in the same place. So he drinks a lot. But when he does
like the greatest situation ever.
Yeah.
When I'm sober, I get to travel to different times. If I get shit-faced, I'll hang with you guys. The second I'm sick of you guys, I'm going to quit drinking. I'm going to go on the wagon. You can all go fuck yourselves. I love that. I love that premise.
It's great. And then, he, I mean, I'm sure it's a very problematic script now, but he meets his girlfriend. He meets his wife when she's a little girl. Like, he time travels back to when she was a little girl. And I guess, I don't know. It could be very problematic now, but at the end of he ends up dying. But there is a point where he has died in real life.
That sounds a fucking amazing. So if he doesn't drink, he can time travel.
Right.
But if he gets hammered, he stays there. So he can continue to drink and fuck up, but then when he gets sober, he can go back in time and apologize for what he just did.
Yeah.
And then come back and continue to drink.
And then when he time travels, he wakes up naked. So he's got to find clothes and get dressed. But at the end of the movie, this is what's beautiful is
where does the time machine drop him off usually?
There's a couple places it always drops him off. One of the places it drops him off is the woods by his wife's childhood house. So that's how he met his wife. She was a little girl, and he time traveled, and he was naked in the woods, and he met this little girl, and they talked, and then he ends up.
He was naked in the woods, and he meets a little girl.
It's a very problematic script now that I talk about it, but like he and so then at the end of the movie he's dead. He's died. However, so
dude, that just reminded me. I swear to, I always interrupt. I'm not even gonna say the movie because I don't want to get people in trouble.
Yeah.
I just watched the movie that everybody fucking loved, and got really like great reviews and everything. And there is a scene in there where this kid starts kissing on this chick who is fucking not all of her functions. And I was just kind of looking at my mother-in-law going, you couldn't have that in a movie today. The
Wait,
tone
what movie?
of this movie.
What movie is it?
I'm not going to say.
Just say it, and Andrew, bleep it out.
Are you going to bleep it out? You're definitely going to bleep it out?
No, I'm going to remember. I'll bleep it out.
Put your hand over your mouth, Bill.
All right. It's,
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, wow. Because now people get like, and that thing was totally in the public eye and got all kinds of like awards and everyone loving it and blah, 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 blah. And now retroactively, people are like, what kind of a mess? It's like, you were alive when this came out and you didn't say shit. Shut the fuck up.
Dude, we watched Ace Ventura with the girls, and they're like, at the very beginning, they're like, I'm howling laughing. And they're like, is it funny because he's special needs? And we're like, what? They're like, is he like a special needs kid? We're like, no, he's just like crazy. And they're like, oh, okay. And then it gets to the end where you find out that they've all hooked up with the cop who has a dick, who is a
Einhorn.
chick. What?
Einhorn. Lieutenant Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn.
Yeah. And they found out they've all hooked up with a dude. And it's just that he's got a dick. They show the dick and everyone starts throwing up. They're like, you could not do that today. You could not. First of all, you're dead naming him by calling him Finkel, right? You could not go, oh, disgusting. He's got a, I mean, Dan Marino's throwing up is fucking hilarious. My daughters are like,
it was a different time, Bert.
Oh my God.
Time.
Oh, it's like we watched for George's birthday. We watched Pretty in Pink. So I know, what's the 16 Candles? So we watched 16 Candles. So we did a socially distanced movie night in the backyard, put up a screen in the backyard. All the kids are watching it. And all of a sudden, the guy's girlfriend gets drunk and he gives her to the nerds and he says, have fun with her. And drunk, Michael Anthony Hall has sex with her. And she's passed out. And they wake up and they're like, did we fuck? And she's like, I think so. And he's like, ooh, was I good? And she's like, I guess. Like, it totally rapes her. He completely rapes her. Like, not even a question.
No, but if he was also fucked up, and if neither one of them remembers, how does that work? And I'm just asking.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's problematic because we had to hit pause and say to the girls, this is not appropriate. Like if a boy gets you drunk and then gives you to his friends and then his friends have sex with you, like that's not cool.
I want to say that they knew that already. You get hammered and then your boyfriend gives you to his friends. Right there, that should be.
It's in this movie. It's a plot. It's like a subplot where you're like, oh, yeah, boys will be boys. And you're like, that's not fucking cool.
I think it worked back then because she looked like she was like 26. And Anthony Michael Hall looked like he was like 12.
Such a great line when he wakes up in the back of Jake's car with the girl, and he's got his headgear on, and she wakes him up. And he goes, "I got my headgear on, Mom."
That guy's fucking hilarious. Anthony
Dude.
Michael Hall.
Weird Science.
Dude, that guy's his comedy timing is perfect.
Perfect. In Weird Science, when he's doing the black guy character, chicks can't hold the smoke.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
that's what it is. And he's talking to all the black guys, and he's like,
no, that line is actually from.
That's you're right. That's from Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club, yeah.
No, when he's holding court with all the black guys in the jazz club, and they're all talking, and he's just talking like a black guy. It is fucking amazing. It's hilarious.
He crushed every single movie he was in. I missed that. He did like a cop drama or something like that a few years ago.
I wonder why he didn't translate to adult stardom the way he was when he was a kid, because he was amazing.
No, he did a whole series. It's just how this fucking business is. Every day, you know what it is every group of young people has to have people that, they have to have their comedians. They got to have their rock stars, their bands, and their movie stars. They're just young people are going to connect with young people of their generation. So I think he more just transitioned into something else. Then you got older, I got older, you get married, you have kids. And then there's new, what's that Korean boy band that everybody's flipping out about?
K-pop.
What is it?
K-pop.
Is that what it is? Yeah. See, that. I mean, I have no idea what that is, and they are connecting.
K-pop is the genre. K-pop is Korean pop. The band is it's a couple letters. It's like BTS.
BTS.
Yeah, those guys are like fucking.
BTSK. BTS is behind the scenes.
Right. I'm just giving you an example. So there you go. So those young people like them now. That's what happens.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, why don't you go spend your Father's Day with your family, Bill?
What happened? Did I piss you off bringing up?
No.
All of a sudden, you just fucking just. Well, that's awesome. That's great. Evidently, you know things about Anthony Michael Hall. Yeah, Bill, go enjoy your day. It's very hostile.
I don't want to work out today.
Well, what are you gonna do? Elliptical?
I don't know. I'm nervous to go into the hotel gym because there's no people just don't socially distance.
Don't do that.
Yeah. So
the last place you want to be is in a hotel gym in the Lone Star State.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go for a run.
Why don't you just go start kissing people in Arizona while you're at it? Those fucking lunatics.
Licking subway poles, just.
Yeah. You got to get those antibodies. All right, let's do the read here, and then we'll wrap it up. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. And congratulations to all the brave comics on the road like Bert Kreischer, bringing the laughs, going down the Rio Grande, trying not to drown his openers. All right, everybody, that's the podcast. Thank you again. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there, and thank you again for listening to the Bill
Bert
Pod.
Cast.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Have a great Father's Day, Bill.
You too. Thank you, buddy.
I'll see you.